Okay. Is it? Sorry, now it looks like on my computer it's not updating, so. Okay. The computer might not be my friend today, so I might not be able to see your comments as much. I'm gonna restart it. Goodness, this has not been a very smooth beginning of the video, but hopefully we're about to get it together. Okay, so my thought for today was I'm gonna illustrate a page in my new journaling Bible that I'm very excited about. And I'm gonna use watercolors, and so while I wait for the watercolor to dry, I'm gonna show you guys how I'm using my Advent devotionals, and then I'll also do a flip through of my gratitude documented journal. So if you're here for that, you can come back later and I'll be doing that. Thank you. I really like the cover too. It was a gift, but it's from Marine Parents on Instagram. She makes custom Bible covers and I think it's awesome. All right, so I'm gonna do Luke chapter 10 verses 38 through 42 tonight. It's this is one thing that is focused on here in the second one of the Naptime Diaries Advent journal, and I really like the line here on the second day about a messy heart is better than a messy house is better than a messy heart. And I think that somebody, Amy Bruce actually journaled this verse on the Illustrated Faith site earlier this week, and I didn't even really notice it when I was reading it there, and then when I was reading it in my devotional, I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. So my thought is I'm gonna stamp and write the verse out first, and then I'm gonna watercolor on top of it. And the other thing I'm gonna do on this page is I'm not gonna take up the whole page, because on this page, right here is the Mary and Martha story, but right here is the parable of the Good Samaritan, which I love, love, love. And so I don't want to take up the whole page and then not be able to go back and do something about the Good Samaritan. I have an example here in my first Bible that I'm going to try to show you of where I have just done part of a page so I could go back and do it all before. I should have bookmarked it, but I didn't. So you're going to have to wait 1 second while I flip through. It's at the very end of one of the Gospels. It might be Matthew. I can't remember now. Not Matthew. Maybe it's John. There we go. Yeah. So here, this is kind of what I'm going for tonight. So this part is the resurrection and Jesus appearing to Mary Magdalene, and I kind of wanted to still have room to possibly go back and journal those later. And so I just journaled down here about where Jesus appears to the disciples and tells them to go and make disciples of all nations. All right. So I have written out what I want to write on this Post-it note so I don't forget and hopefully don't misspell anything. And my thought is to stamp the words heart and house and to handwrite the rest of it. I don't often handwrite in my Bibles because I don't really love my handwriting. I can't do a lot of very fancy stuff, but today's the day. We're going to do it together. All right, I'm going to put my little mat under the page. I'm going to start off by stamping, and when I do that, I'm going to say that the stamping is almost definitely going to bleed through to the back side of this page. I could go ahead and watercolor and then stamp on top of it, which would probably help it a little bit not bleed through. But I don't know how much room my verse is going to take, and since I'm not doing the whole page, I only want to watercolor what I have to. So I've just made this decision. I usually never prep my pages with gesso or anything, so stuff does bleed through. This one, there was one more thing I was going to say about that, and now I can't remember. Oh, also, I just got a newer Stays-On pad, so it is a little juicier, so stuff does bleed through more than usual. All right, these are the stamps I'm going to be using to stamp the heart and house. They are by Studio Calico. They're called the Stepping Stone stamp set. I was able to find them online, I guess sometime in February, but I've looked recently and haven't been able to find them. I really like this set because they have both kind of outline letters and solid letters, but you can find a lot of other good outline letters out there. I know there's one like that Kelly Perky makes. So, all right, I'm just gonna put the letters on my block really quick. I'm gonna start, I didn't say this, I'm gonna start from the bottom and work my way up so I don't like run out of room and not be able to write heart down here. Because that's never happened to me before. It has happened a lot. All right. And for some reason I've started to write the word backwards. Didn't need to do that, but just go with it now. All right. I'm so sorry. I know stamping is so boring to watch. Somebody puts their stamps out. Let me try to make this a little more even. Okay, here we go. Okay. Get this where I want it. Perfect. Yay. Sometimes things do work out. All right. I'm gonna just use a baby wipe to wipe these off real quick and then put them away. And then I'm gonna start writing my handwritten words. I think I'm gonna write them in pencil first and then go over them in pen. Sometimes this works out for me and sometimes it doesn't. I'm gonna duck down so I won't be able to see your comments because my computer just is not refreshing the video. So 1 second. All right, I'll try not to put my head in the way. I'm gonna make this one a little bit bigger so it can go. Sorry. All right. So now I think I'm gonna go ahead and stamp house and then I'll come back with a pen. Lost my block. Okay. Almost. Okay. Stamp this with this black ink. All right. That also turned out. Sometimes you just never know when you're doing this live what's going to happen. Okay, let me write the last thing. All right, now I'm going to go back with my pen and trace this. All right, now I'm gonna come back. I have this little white eraser. I'm just gonna erase where I did my pen marks. I found when I used the Illustrated Faith pen that like it dries instantly and I don't have to worry about smearing when I erase. With some other pens, I'll usually like wait a minute or two so I don't inadvertently smear it while I'm trying to erase the pencil. Okay. I might come back later and like retrace over these to make it, especially the word messy, to make it look a little bit messier. But I'll wait till after the paint is on. So I use, usually for my watercolors, these Pentel Aqua brushes that they have like water here that you can refill, and then you just kind of can squeeze them to put more water in the tip. They're pretty awesome. All right, I didn't decide ahead of time what colors I want to do. I have to think about that. The one I showed before was kind of blues and greens. It's Advent, so maybe I'll do some blues and purples. Oh, great. See, now are you talking about the brushes? Because they are awesome. All right, and these are a Pelican watercolor set. I have the $5 one from Michael's, and when I got that just to see if I liked watercoloring, and then when I decided that I did, I was like, oh, I put this on my wish list for my birthday, and my aunt bought it for me, so thank you, Aunt Linda. Okay, so this luckily didn't go too high up here with the Good Samaritan, so I think I'm gonna like kind of concentrate my color like kind of up here and then down, and then maybe we'll do the rest. The Lord's Prayer is down here at the very bottom, but it continues onto the next page, so if I ever wanted to do that. Also, you can tell here, like, here's how it bled through. So if this bothers you, don't do what I just did. It doesn't really bother me. I will probably go back and cover it with paint or paper or something, and it'll be fine. All right, I'm trying to think. I'm gonna use the medium tipped brush. Is this it? Yes, okay. Here we go, ducking back down again. So, and I don't have any kind of art training at all, so I just kind of smear some paint around on the page, and then I'll go back and add more later, kind of do some layers. All right, let's do some blue. I can never remember what the shades of these blues look like ahead of time. Okay, that's nice. All right. Oops. Something else I might go back and do now that I'm starting this is might go back and try to outline the inside of the letters in white so that they stand out a little better. That's something I've done before, and I like how it looks usually. That blue isn't really making a big contrast. What about this blue? Yeah. Maybe we'll go back and add some more purple. That. Right. And here, maybe I'll see here, paper towel. Oh, I'll just use this. Just gonna wipe off some of the excess, and then maybe you might see a little bit of pink, how that looks in here. All right, so that's looking pretty good to me right now. So what I'm here, I'm just gonna try to decide how I want these edges to look. Maybe lighten them a little, the edge. Okay. Okay. All right, so what I'm now gonna do, oh, here we go. I was like, I know I did paper towels. I'm gonna let it dry a little bit, and then I'm gonna come back and splatter some splotches on it, because I like to do that, but I found that when you do that, when it's still wet, it doesn't really look like splatter. It kind of all blends together, which is a bummer. I'm gonna put a paper towel behind the back, because I've always found that that kind of helps it dry a little better for the back not to be so wet. And sometimes if I want it to flatten out, I'll put another paper towel here. I'm worried that this is still like a little too wet, and so if I do that, the paper towel is gonna soak up some of the pigment. So I'm just gonna set it to the side for now, and we'll come back to it in just a minute. Oh, okay. Sorry. Here, I'll show you what just happened. I went to do it and it started to close, and so a little paint got here. So this is a baby wipe. I'm just gonna see if I can wipe some of it off. It's not a big deal. This has happened to a lot of my pages, but you know, if I ever want to do something there again, it can be nice for it to be a little bit cleaner. Okay, pull this through. Okay, and now I'm going to be much more careful as I put it aside. All right, so let's talk briefly about Advent, and then I'll go back and do my my gratitude documented journal. So I am using 2 different devotionals this season. I'm very excited about it. So this is the one from Naptime Diaries. It's a little difficult. I've seen a lot of questions online, so I'm just gonna tell you how I'm doing it. And I think there's a lot of plenty of good ways you could do it. But they have kind of 5 sections. And in each section, it's not super obvious, but this is written by one person and then this is written by a second person. So there are kind of 5 different little written devotions per section. So that equals 25. So I am just going to do 1 a day. That's my plan. And so I did this one actually last night. And so the one we just did is for this one. And I'll show you the page I did for this in just a moment. And then the other thing I'm doing is this fun little book called Advent in Narnia, which kind of juxtaposes quotes from scripture and the story of the Lion and the Witch and the Wardrobe. And I really love it so far. I've only read, the first couple of days, but it just kind of talks about, the first one was all about how walking into Narnia is a lot like walking into Advent. It's kind of like being in this magical time and place where we do all these different things. And so I'm really enjoying it. It's kind of reminding me of my childhood. I pulled the copy of the Chronicles of Narnia from my in-laws' house while I was there for Thanksgiving, so I could kind of read along in that as I go. So I have tried to commit to doing 1 Bible journaling page a night during Advent. We'll see how it goes. I'm hopeful. So the first one I did was from the Narnia devotional. I did this on Sunday. I have to find it. Here it is. So it's the kind of the Narnia lamppost scene, and then the verse was from Luke chapter 13, strive to enter through the narrow door. For many, I tell you, will seek to enter, will not be able. And the devotional was kind of drawing the parallel, that door and the wardrobe into Narnia. And anyway, and then I just wrote a lot from the devotional here on the margins because I really, really liked what it had to say. And then my second one, which was from the Naptime Diaries one, is over here somewhere. There it was. The verse from Psalm 42, deep calls to deep at the roar of your waterfalls, all your breakers and your waves have gone over me, which is kind of a beautiful image of God being with us in the midst of the waves and the storm, and God kind of calling us to that deeper place with him. And so this was really fun. I was trying not to copy Becca Blankenship's waves because she did several weeks ago, and I loved them. And I finished and I looked and I was like, oh yeah, they're really similar because hers are amazing. I just got into my subconscious. Anyway, but I like that. Great. And then so while my page is still drying, let's switch gears and go back to gratitude documented. So this was something Illustrated Faith did for the month of November. They put out this little notebook that had a little prompt for each day. So I'm just gonna slowly kind of go flip through them and ask questions if you have any. But I tell you, I started off by watercoloring every page ahead of time because I was like, oh, this will mean that I won't have to add color to my pages. In some ways that was nice, but in other ways, like, I saw all these other great ideas people were doing with paint and stuff, and I was like, oh, if I hadn't already watercolored this, I could have done some of those. So, but it was nice, especially when I was traveling, for like the page to already be colored was huge. So the first days were Jesus and salvation. These are like these little things I had from card making years ago, and I attached those. They attached with brads, and then I just put washi tape on the back so you couldn't see the brads through. Family. This is the part where I started using pictures. This was a little card from Angie of the 1500 Tree Project. I had never used this one when she released it before, and I was looking through kind of my pile of ephemera, and I was like, oh, this is perfect for the peace day. Forgiveness. It's about home, and for me right now, like, my home is very dominated by my cat. So there's a picture of me and my cat, and well, this is me and my husband, and this is a drawing that Jess of Bumble and Bristle did for us. So freedom, friends, pictures of friends. I really liked this. I have these little hexagon alphabet stamps, and so this is a line from a hymn, but that was fun. So that was kind of like the one that doesn't have a watercolor background. It had one, and I completely covered it up. This one, my stamping did not really work out so well, and then it's just like super busy, but it happens. I made this one to match a page I'd already done in my Bible. It's a little giraffe. Happiness. These are pictures from my wedding. We had hula hoops there. Purpose. And the idea that, like, with God we can move mountains. Here's one where I had these stamps, and I initially stamped grow in grace for whatever reason. It just was there and I did it, and that's where this was. So I then covered it up and stamped above it. Do what you gotta do sometimes. This is the point where I started traveling for Thanksgiving, so like I did this one on the plane, this there. I was obviously already really excited about Advent. I did this one with my sister-in-law, which was fun. I think she's watching. Hi, Katie. String. This is the mission statement of the United Methodist Church, so I always enjoyed that. Oh, there she is. Hi, Katie. Connections, worship, and then the final one. And I put another little selfie in there to, like, remember who I am today. So that's the end. I never did that back page. I'm not sure what you're supposed to do here. So I didn't have anything to do, so I left it there. Great. And so I think some people are going to keep like doing little journaling for Advent. I decided that because I was at journaling, I wasn't actually Bible journaling a lot during November, and I decided I'd rather focus on that this month. So let's grab our page back and see how we're doing dry wise. Okay, that has gotten not super dry, but more dry. All right, I'm gonna take this out for a moment. And I'll be interested to see if other people have different ways they make the splatter. I have tried a couple of ways and I'm not sure the best way, but I'll show you what I do. So I put some on here, try to get more, squeeze it so there's more water in the tip. And then I have just begun doing this, kind of smacking it. It also gets all over your finger this way, so have a paper towel ready. All right, let me do another color. Let's do the purple. Oops. Oh my gosh, hair got caught on my tripod. So sorry, friends. Dangers of longer hair. Oh, a clear block. Interesting. So I've tried the tapping the brush and haven't been thrilled with how that's looked in the past, but maybe I just need to work on that. I haven't tried tapping it off a clear block. Be interesting. All right, we're getting a little over here, but that's gonna be fine. Whenever I do the top part of the page, it'll be interesting. And also, you know, it's about being messy, so we're on point, on brand. All right, so tap the top of the brush with a lot of water in it. Yeah, okay. I think I'll have to try that next time and see what, I feel like I was doing something wrong before when I would try to like tap the brush. I don't know. I didn't feel like I got like a great splatter as I saw other people. What brand of watercolor? These are Pelican. It's like Pelican with a K. I got them on Amazon or put them on my Amazon wish list and got them from that. Okay, so gonna just try to dab off some of the splatter that got like really on top of the words. Okay, now I am going to put the top, let me do it on the bottom and the top, and shut the Bible and see if that'll get it a little drier. I had a second paper towel. Oh, it's under here. Great. All right. Just gonna do this for a moment. Any other questions? I'm trying to think if there are other things I can show you. You can tell me what you're doing for Advent. That's exciting. I was really looking forward to it. I also have another kind of coloring project. Let me go grab that. 1 second. I was holding off on starting this until December 1st, since I only had 25. But so I just watercolored this like larger piece of paper, and then Jess of Bumble and Bristle made these cute nativity scene figures, and you can get them on her Etsy shop. And so my plan is to I think I'm gonna have to start coloring them before I can actually set them down, because I think some of them are gonna have to overlap a little bit to fit them all on the page. But plan is to color a different person / animal each day. And then, so for the 25 days in December, the star counts as one too. And then it's kind of like tape them down once they're all colored, and then I can frame it and it can be my little nativity scene. So I was looking for kind of a do-it-yourself advent calendar, and this is what I came up with. I'm very excited about it. I cut this little mice off, and that was a mistake because they keep falling around. Anyway, so there's that. I need to start working on it tonight since it's the first finally. Okay, let's see how this is going. All right, great. Okay, so that is almost completely dry. So I'm gonna come back. This time with a Staedtler 0.1 millimeter pen. I will say that these don't write as well over paint as the Illustrated Faith does, so I might have to come back with this. But we're gonna try this first because I like kind of the narrower tip sometimes. I think I'm gonna take that out. And I'm just gonna try to like messily trace some of these letters. Sometimes this ends up looking great, and sometimes it doesn't. It's all a game. I think I like it better than just the one. This is also good because once you have the paint on top of your original handwriting, it can be a little bit harder to see it, so this can help you see it better. It can also be a little hard sometimes to like trace them messy enough. Here, I'm gonna wait on that van. I'll come back with it, maybe do a different something there. All right. So there's that. I'm gonna come back with the thicker. I have a 0.7 Stadler. I'm gonna come back with that too and trace this van since I did it in block letters to begin with. There we go. Okay, what do y'all think? Should I try to color in the house and heart white, or do you think it stands out enough? Oh, sorry, I took. No one's weighing in. White. Okay. One vote for white, one vote for not white. Oh, everyone's torn. Okay, we'll try the white. So the white, the only problem is I think like, we'll see, I'll show you guys how it looks. So this will be a learning experience for everyone. Sometimes the white, this particular white pen that I got can be a little hard to color in with, but you know, I don't know if there is a great one. This is like a jelly roll pen. Some people have a different one. Only problem with this one sometimes is like you can't go back over it once you've written, but you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. Again, messy. All right. Sorry, this is probably also boring for y'all. I also cannot see questions if you're asking them. I'm gonna try not to get it on the ink so I don't have to go back and trace the letters, but I've had to do that sometimes. It's not the end of the world. End of the world. All right, I like that. I think that's nice. It's like, it's a little, it's not like super duper bright, but I think it's kind of a nice, a subtle difference. So I'll go back and do this one. Real quick, sorry. Okay, last one. Okay, great. All right, any questions? I'm gonna get my date stamp ready to go. Yeah, the paper actually isn't too wet. It's this pen that sometimes just doesn't go over the paint that well. I don't know what that was. I didn't see whatever question was in response to that before. What's the date? The 1st? Okay. But sometimes the white is a little hard. I'll wait for it to dry and then go back over it a little bit more, which will make it a little easier. Not the paper to dry, but the first layer of ink itself. Because sometimes when you try to go over it again with this pen, it like just pulls up the ink from the first time. It's a little frustrating. I'm not sure what the best solution is. I could maybe try another white pen. All right, I'm gonna do my date. Great. And then I have also started writing kind of what the what I did this for, like Illustrated Advent, or I might write Make Room for Advent, since that's the title of this one. I realized with my first Bible that I had several that I had done like in response to devotionals, but then I didn't label them when I did them, and so then I couldn't necessarily always remember which devotional was this. So I've started labeling here. So I'll do Illustrate Advent and then also Make Room for God. Maybe I'll just write Make Room, that'll be better. Advent, tag, Make Room. Great. All right, and then tag at the top. I think I might do, I think I might not label it since I don't know if I'm gonna go back and add a second something. So I think I'm gonna do a ribbon tag. All right, those are my colors. Sadly, I don't have purple. Oh, here's another pink. Any thoughts, friends? I'm leaning, I don't know, maybe one of the blues, maybe the pink. All right, while I find my stapler, weigh in. Oh. Blue, light blue, okay. Blue or black, light blue or pink on the left, okay. I think I might do this blue, this is navy blue. I know y'all thought it was black, but it's navy. Got to grab the scissors. Oh, great. Oops. All my stuff's falling off now. I've reached like maximum amount of stuff that can fit on this table. All right, this has a bit of a tail, so I'm gonna cut that off. And then I almost never cut the right amount. It's either too long or too short. All right, we'll do this. Okay, there we go. All right, put these to the side. Okay, this is the very, very, very first one in this new Bible. So exciting. Don't want to, oh, it is too long. Don't want to cover up the words. Let me just, okay, great. All right. Does anyone have any final questions about this or about Advent or anything else? If you have other suggestions of things I could do in future Periscopes, always happy to hear that. Okay, just gonna center my staple. Thank you, Katie. I'm glad you enjoyed this half page. There we go. Yay. Yeah, with my first Bible, I started by never ever doing half pages, and then was always really sad when I'd look something up and was like, oh no, I've already done that page. And like, this is one of the reasons why I used my new Bible for this one, was because I had already journaled on this page in my first Bible. I'll show you, it's so bad. It was like one of the very, 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 very first pages I did, and it's about the Good Samaritan, but it's with these terrible stamps I had, like, and so that was where I was like, I need another chance to do the Good Samaritan. So here, like, all I did was stamp, who is my neighbor, and then write, I think this is from a song. I think there's a song called Who's My Neighbor, and these are lyrics, but this is all I did. So I wanted a do-over. And so now I have it, yay. Okay, great. Any further questions? Otherwise, I'll probably put a picture of this, the finished page, up on my Instagram tomorrow, because I like to take pictures outside in the daylight, because those are a little better. And great, yeah. And I'll also upload this video to YouTube. My name is the same here. It's Arden_Elise. So that's pretty easy. Great. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining in. I hope you guys all have a good evening. I will hopefully get to do this again sometime soon. Thanks, friends.